So let's talk about keywords and ranking within Google. Is Google good enough to understand the keywords a page should rank for, regardless of if the keyword is on a page? So when we look back 15, 20 years ago, prior to Google, search engines were heavily reliant on what some would call keyword density, or the number of times a keyword is on a page in comparison to the total number of words on a page. It was a big deal to add keywords a certain amount of times on a page. And as you probably can imagine, if you added it 50 times, the content would sound really bad when read. And so Google came along and said, hey, yes, we still value keywords, but we're going to use this other metric called inbound links. Now, when we look at keywords, the keyword is so important, and having it on the page is so important because it gives some direction for Google. However, it's not always about the search volume. So when we look at keywords, there's really three main parts to it. There's the search volume. That search volume is important. However, of the billions of searches that are done on Google, 15% of them have never been searched before. The tools that we use to gather search volume are behind. They'll always be behind because 15% of the keywords that are used don't even show up in the tools yet. Looking at search volume alone, more beneficial if you're just looking at branding. If you just want to get your name out there, you need to get many eyeballs on your content as possible. Now you can either target very high-level keywords with a lot of search volume, or you can publish more content for the mid and long tail keywords. So the second thing that we're going to talk about is intent. So what does it mean by intent? Is why the user came to the page. What made the user come to the page? If they only came to the page for information, then a blog post is probably better, and therefore their intent is informational. If they came to the page for a conversion or found a product, then it's probably commercial or transactional. If they came from a search and they're trying to get to a specific website, it's probably navigational. And so there's a lot of different intents around keywords and matching the page that we're optimizing with the intent so that when the user lands on it, they have a higher probability of accomplishing their goal, converting, submitting a form, buying a product, etc. The higher intent keywords are usually lower in the funnel. And so when we look at that, we want those low funnel keywords. And then the third thing is the brand value. So when we talk about search volume and brand value, we want to make sure that not only are the keywords the correct keywords from a branding standpoint, from a messaging standpoint, but we also want to make sure they have search volume. And so when we're optimizing pages, if we're looking at it from a branding or a reach standpoint, we want to really start high up in the funnel and look at topics and then build keywords underneath topics. Those three things are the things that we look at, or I look at. And I find in most cases that intent trumps keyword search volume.